Global supply chains are the way the world does business. They bring competitive advantages to economies. They can create decent work and revitalise the poorest areas of the world. They provide high-quality, low-cost goods to consumers. But they also bring challenges. The power of global supply chains and the distance between their beginnings and their ends means that workers can miss out on their rights. But pressure from the public, the buyers, the media, the factory owners, the unions, governments and the workers themselves is creating a new world where global supply chains now have to go hand in hand with improved labour standards. The US-Cambodian trade agreement gave Cambodia access to the US market linked to improved labour standards. Both governments turned to the ILO for its help in monitoring these labour standards across the industry.
This industry has started almost from scratch about 10 years ago. And nowadays we have 290 factories that are operational. And they are employing about 330,000 people. And most of them are female workers coming from rural areas.
The United States government realized that Cambodia was in such a devastated condition that it needed something to make it stand out in the world economy. And so we entered into a bilateral textile agreement which enabled Cambodia to get extra quota if they met international standards for labor rights. The problem was that there was no real capacity here and there was no one to really monitor and do the training. So we worked with the ILO and with the Cambodian government, and out of that was created the Better Factories Initiative, which has done an incredible job ensuring that Cambodian factories, textile factories, are among the very best in the world.
In January 2001, the Garment Sector Working Conditions Improvement Project began with a focus on factory monitoring. Its first public report was produced in November the same year. Leo Sibel was there at the start.
It was a new project. It had never been done by the ILO before, so everything had to be invented. There were no examples of how to do things. So we had to start up the project from zero without examples and invent the different tools and mechanisms that we used.
In 2002, the ILO produced a world first, a public report naming factories and their progress in implementing suggestions for improvement. In 2003, Better Factories Cambodia moved from only monitoring, adding training and remediation services.
So it puts together this package of monitoring and remediation and assistance to industry. So we're in fact providing a holistic service where we monitor compliance but also assist industry to improve its conditions and its performance.
Against the background of the end of the multi-fibre arrangement in 2004, experts were predicting the collapse of the Cambodian apparel industry. Meanwhile, the ILO and World Bank Group were both urgently identifying new market drivers for the sector to replace the previous quota system, the world's largest buyers. The Seizing the Global Opportunity International Conference allowed leaders to renew their commitment to take the programme beyond the multi-fibre arrangement. The ILO and the IFC came together to launch a sustainability strategy which was the start of the partnership that would lead to better work. Defying expectations, employment continued to rise across 2005 and beyond. Better Factories introduces innovative approaches, including a world-first information management system which allows buyers to access factory information from anywhere in the world.
One of the key features of the BFC's factory monitoring program is that it allows us as buyers who are working with those factories to get good information about the working conditions in those factories. And it allows us to actually focus our efforts on working with the factories to improve.
At the Factory Gates, the soap opera about workers' rights was conceived and produced. Cambodia's favourite stars appeared each week in a drama that entertained and educated workers about their rights. the fashion industry came on board, and Cambodia's top models walked their rights onto the stage.